Now notice in the same verse that it speaks of the believers living in the fear of the Lord. Now a better, more literal translation of the Greek is not living, but rather going in the fear of the Lord. I point this out because at this point in Jewish history, the biblical phrase walking in the fear of the Lord or going in the fear of the Lord had become a standard expression within Jewish life that meant to denote faithful observance to the halakha, to Jewish law. So remember what I told you that the word halakha means? It means the path that one walks. So the idea is that walking in the fear of the Lord is the path that one walks. See how that all fits together? And in that era, halakha consisted of a combination of Torah law, oral law, and customs that Judaism said establishes the path that one ought to walk. Now, among scholars, a phrase of this type is called a Hebraism. That is, just like we might call the phrase, "don't let the cat out of the bag," an Americanism, because it is used nowhere else but in America. It has a meaning among Americans that goes beyond what the words mean in their literal sense. So only Americans know what it means. After all, this particular Americanism has nothing to do with cats or bags. It merely means to keep something secret. A Hebraism does the same thing. These are sayings that have a certain meaning only within Hebrew society. And the saying doesn't necessarily mean exactly what the individual words seem to say. And I've often said, I sure am glad that Christ never said, "don't let the cat out of the bag." I can't even imagine what some churches would look like. You could have those for the bag and those for the cat, I'm quite sure. Now, I bring all this up because the New Testament is chock full of Hebraisms that can be hard to spot because they are first expressed from Hebrew thought, written down in Greek, and then further translated to English. Thus, we can look at the literal meaning of those words, and we get the wrong impression unless we recognize it as a uniquely Hebrew expression. So in the New Testament, whenever we see the particular expression of going or walking in the fear of the Lord, it is actually a Hebraism that is referring to being faithful to the total body of halakha. And of course, this was considered at that time as the most pious, God-fearing thing that any Jew, believer or otherwise, could do.